This is How to Pet a Cat, read by the author, me, Robert W. Moore. Emma and Evan loved rabbits and dogs. They loved hamsters and birds and turtles and frogs. They loved all animals from the land to the sea, and the shows about nature they saw on TV. But Dad was allergic, so they couldn't have a pet. But they knew Dr. Lopez next door was a vet, and she had a new puppy she brought home from work. She let the kids name this puppy Berserk. Berserk was so happy and playful and funny. He would jump in their arms like a spry little bunny. They hugged him and chased him and played tug of war until he got sleepy and started to snore. One day, the vet came home with a cat. Emma and Evan were excited by that. They wanted to play, so they chased him about. But he ran under the couch, and he wouldn't come out. "Now, kids," the vet said, with a stern but warm smile, "Kodi, the cat's name, needs a break for a while." Feeling sad, Emma asked, "Is Kodi afraid?" "We don't want to scare him. We just want to play." The vet said, "Don't worry, he'll soon be all right. But running around can give him a fright. You know how Berserk really loves how you play? Well, a cat does not want to be treated that way." She sat the kids down to tell them the rules. To be friends with a cat, you must have the tools of patience, kindness, love, and respect. "And catnip?" Evan asked. The vet laughed. "That's correct." Just then, Berserk came and raced through the room. He jumped in the air and landed with a boom. But he stopped when he eyed who was under the couch, for he knew that getting too close could mean ouch. You see, kids, Berserk is staying away. It's because he knows Kodi doesn't want to play. When Kodi feels scared, he might hiss and scratch. Berserk learned the hard way that he'd met his match. Emma wondered aloud, "So they won't be friends ever?" "But they are," the vet said. "They sleep snuggled together." The kids were so eager to pet the sweet kitten. As the vet told them how, they sat silently to listen. To pet a cat, you first must wait. The cat will come investigate. Be peaceful, calm, respect their bounds, move slowly, and make gentle sounds. And don't look at the cat just yet, for eye contact can be a threat to cats both very big and small, so pretend you don't care much at all. For cats are curious at heart, cautious too, but very smart. So if you're careful, in the end, you'll make a loving, furry friend. Emma looked at Evan and thought they should practice what they've been taught. Calling a cat that they don't see, she whispered into the air, "Kodi." They waited a moment, then two, and then three, and Evan said softly, "Here, kitty, kitty." The vet made a kissing sound, for this wouldn't fail, and by the cat tree they saw a long and curved tail. "Emma, look!" Evan gasped. "He's coming this way." But she knew that loud sounds might scare him away. "Evan," she whispered, "now don't cause a riot. To gain a cat's trust, we must remain quiet." Feeling safe and secure, Kodi jumped on the vet. "Now, kids," she warned, "before you reach in to pet, don't touch his belly or his tail or his feet, but present him your hand to smell and to greet. And don't pet right away, for a cat needs to think. If they're not feeling safe, they'll run in a blink. If the cat's ears are back and his tail is all snappy, it means he's on guard or not very happy. Then you leave him alone and he'll go on his way. and you can try again another day. But if his tail's like this, a big question mark, then all should be fine if the dog doesn't bark. Berserk raised his brow and let out a yawn. He'd been chasing his tail since well before dawn. He walked in a circle and lay down on his mat, while the kids presented their hands to the cat. Kodi stretched out his neck, just like a giraffe, to sniff Emma's fingers. She wanted to laugh, but she kept her gaze down and remained very calm, and Kodi slipped his head right under her palm. That means it's okay, the vet said. Feel his fur. Emma patted his head, and he began to purr. Evan was feeling a little left out, and reached for the cat, but Kodi pulled back in doubt. Now remember the rules, the vet said to him straight. To pet a cat, you first must wait. Evan moved his hand towards the cat's chin. Kodi smelled him and let the petting begin. You kids are so good, for sometimes he's fickle. Emma giggled softly and said, His whiskers tickle. Evan said with the cat on his lap like a throne, He's the best kitty cat I ever have known. They petted the cat a few minutes more. Then Kodi jumped down and sat on the floor. Dr. Lopez said, Kodi needs time, but don't worry. Sometimes they cuddle, and sometimes they scurry. You never know if a cat's in a good or bad mood. Berserk loves anyone who gives him some food. While a dog will come at the sound of your voice, a cat makes loving you their choice. Emma said to Evan, feeling like a winner, We better go now, or we'll be late for dinner. Evan asked the vet, his eyes filled with sorrow, Dr. Lopez, could we come see Kodi tomorrow? Of course, she said. Come back any day. In fact, tomorrow I'll teach you to play. Again, there's a difference between a dog and a cat, but with a few tips, you'll learn in no time flat. Emma patted Berserk once more, and you and I also have to play tug of war. Evan looked to Kodi to say his goodbye. Kodi, hey Kodi, come here, little guy. But Kodi didn't move beyond sitting up tall. Evan asked, Will he ever come to me when I call? The vet thought of the good kids, and though Kodi stayed still, she smiled and said, Yes, I bet someday he will. Who's a good boy, huh? Was that about you? Was that about you, Kodi? Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes, you're such a good boy.